What makes legendary Pokemon legendary? What separates them from the Mythicals or Paradox Pokemon? Is it their power levels, their abilities, how many of them there are? Or has it all been something just so simple that we completely missed it? I'm here to give you the answers to these questions using info I researched from the game, shows, movies, and wherever else I could get my obsessed little eyes to scour. But I'm not going to just nerd out and go through all the numbers and stat totals because that's boring. I don't want to watch that, so why would I make you watch it? But I will address them. I will address space stat levels because I know you little nerds out there want to know about it. How Game Freak categorizes Pokemon. Starting out, let's just simply separate legendary Pokemon from all other Pokemon. Game Freak categorizes legendaries, mythicals, Ultra Beasts, and Paradox Pokemon as special Pokemon. Legendaries appear in the game normally, mythicals are through special events, and are typically so elusive in story-wise that we don't even know if they exist. Ultra Beasts came through wormholes from a different dimension, and Paradox Pokemon, they're from different timelines, technically, which, depending on time theory, means that they are also from a different dimension. I'm not doing string theory here, don't expect me to. But fairly cut and dry to start us out. Base stat totals. If you don't know what a base stat total is, you know what, actually, I don't even know what a base stat total is. Base stats are one of the underlying values that help determine the growth rate for each of a Pokemon's 6 major stats. HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. Again, I said I'd go over this briefly, for all you number nerds out there. So you can go through each of these categories and see the base stat totals vary, some higher than others, and even some Mega Pokemon can reach these numbers, or non-Mega Pokemon. I mean, Slacking is really high up there. So it's just all over the place. For example, again, going back to Slacking and Necrozma, which are a normal and Ultra Beast Pokemon, they have higher base stat totals than Regigigas. You know, the one that Toad caught and created other Regis. So base stat total does not make the legendary, otherwise we'd have one of the laziest legendaries in all of existence, next to all the other ones that sleep for thousands of years. Even though Regigigas has slow start. Go figure. Rarity. This is the one you think of when you're a little kid and you're like, oh, a legendary, there's only one of them. Wrong. I'm just gonna say that right now. Wrong. Some of you may say that legendary Pokemon are rare, that there is only one of them, and again, that isn't the case. We know through the Pokédex and the anime that there are multiple Latios and Latias as they make a small herd of only several members. They rarely make contact with people or other Pokemon. They disappear if they sense enemies. Even if we look at Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, you know, some of the anchors of reality, we know that Arceus can recreate them, and likely does so when one of them are caught by a trainer. Meaning that there are, or could be, multiple of even these prolifically powerful Pokemon. And well, yes, I know Arceus themselves is mythical. They are but a fragment of the true Pokemon that Arceus, or the unnamed deity Pokemon, is. One of their many thousand arms. So, ultimately, while rarity may play a part in it all, it does not make a legendary Pokemon. I mean, come on! Even Koraidon and Miraidon have multiple of them as well in Scarlet and Violet in the game ability. So, this will technically be mixed with power level, but I'm calling it ability for the sake of my sanity. The reason being is that this is where I feel like things become a little bit of a mess. Because you have the mythical Jirachi that can grant any wish, theoretically. And then you have Regigigas, the legendary who made other legendary Pokemon. Very strong, powerful feats. Again, reasons why they are legends. Meanwhile, you have Mesprit and Uxie, who represent emotion and knowledge, and can seemingly die without direct consequences. It says nothing in the Pokédex, it doesn't seem like there's any issues whatsoever. But, if Azelf is even injured in the slightest, it can cause humans to lose all will inside of them, making them completely immobile for all eternity.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, don't mess with Azelf, please.
Otherwise, you'll never have Undertale. Then we have the exact opposite side of the spectrum, where you have these Swords of Justice, who don't seem to have any incredible ability other than leadership, strength, and speed. Yeah. Meanwhile, a non-legendary like Gardevoir can distort dimensions and create black holes. Kind of a disparity right there. Gardevoir is not even a pseudo-legendary, and it can do that. So can Lantern. Lantern can create black holes. I'm not going to start devolving into this. So the abilities of the Pokemon, again, don't quite make the legendary. They don't evolve. I'm not spending a lot of time on this one. Cosmoem, Cosmog, Lunala, Sugaleo, Type Null, and Silvally. And if you dare say, well, if we don't count Alola, shut up. Mewtwo Mega Evolves. And if you dare say, oh, but it needs a trainer and it isn't permanent. Fine, allow me to point you at Rayquaza, who can just eat Mega Stones from space to evolve into its Mega form. Or even just look at Slowbro, who, while isn't a legendary, can devolve. It says Mega Evolution in the line, they evolve, done. Lore. This is it. This is what makes a Pokemon legendary. Simply because they hold an important history with our universe of humanity. The Swords of Justice liberated Pokemon against humans in history. The Trio of Myth were worshipped as gods and shaped the culture of Hisui, which became the Sinnoh region. Mewtwo was created by humanity from the DNA of Mew, which they didn't get from finding Mew, but simply an eyelash of Mew. So they didn't even know for 100% sure that they found this mythical creature that nobody has full proof of. It's like finding the caveman we all originate from and creating a whole new person from it. Meanwhile, Genesect, a mythical Pokemon, was just created from some unknown ancient bug Pokemon. But since it's as old as a cockroach, when you look at the Pokédex, we might be able to assume some super cockroach was brought back to life and put into a mech. Regigigas towed the continents and made each of the other Regis, which in turn were also sealed by humanity for our safety because we were terrified of them. We knew of them. They have shrines. Latios and Latias were worshipped because they saved people. I think they saved a kid. They saved a kid. Yeah, the sickly kid. The Tapus are legends of each of the islands, protecting them from the aliens that Ultra Beasts are seen as. Miraidon and Koraidon were the first Paradox Pokemon that were witnessed and shaped the paths of scientists and their research in the Paldean region. And the reasons go on and on. It's all about their significance to us and how they shaped our history. That's it. It's as simple as that and always has been. Any other Pokemon could have been in these spots. And that's why pseudo-legendaries are exactly that. They are false legendaries. They have significance, but nothing nearly as significant as those that changed humanity and culture as a whole. So, with that, I've answered the question of what makes legendary Pokemon legendary. If you made it here, thank you for watching. Please check out my other Pokemon content and streams. There's tons to enjoy here. If there are other Pokemon related questions you want answers to, you want me to look into, if it's fun enough, sure, why not? Comment it below. I might do it and make it into a video at some point if it piques my interest. Researching this was genuinely so much fun. So as always, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't do anything I would do. Please be nice to each other. I love you, and I'll see you next time.